Because someone there was supposed to tweet this obviously on the 1st of April, but somehow fucked up and tweeted it on the 29th of March. Good work there. You could tell that this is a tight ship Tinder is running here. They put out this fantastic tweet introducing the thing you never asked for, but the thing you definitely always wanted. Tinder height verification coming soon. The most ridiculous shit ever. It's not even really funny. And of course it was geared towards dudes because the height verification showed a guy who had to show his real height. Fantastic, you know. Because that's kind of a thing on Tinder if you don't know. Depending on your area, if you live in a backwards ass area like my area, every chick is looking for a dude who's over 6 foot tall and looks like, what's that football player? I don't know, some guy from the New England Patriots. I couldn't give a cock less. This is the remix. Meaning, while rendering, I looked at some more of this Tinder bullshit and figured, great, now I have to add some stuff. At the end of this stupid blog post Tinder posted, it had this one quote. Oh, and by the way, only 14.5% of US male population is actually 6 feet and beyond.
No shit.
No shit, Sherlock. Most men that are aware of the current dating scene know this. Like, it's nothing new. You see, we know this because we actually pay attention to things. And the funny thing is, most guys that are on Tinder saying they're over 6 feet tall are doing it because women request men that are over 6 feet fucking tall. You know, why not point the blame where it belongs? You know, you got dudes sitting here trying to grip the system. They're like, oh God, every girl I've tried to go out with found out that I'm actually 5'6", and then they totally end the date or they ghost me. Oh, what am I gonna do? I'll tell them I'm 6 feet, and then hopefully she'll hang out with me and get to know me and like my charms and find me for who I am as a person. Yeah, and if you're a guy and you're thinking that, I got some news for you. Fucking hang that shit up right now. This ain't Harry Potter, and life don't always work out the way you want. Life isn't what it is, it's what you make it. Fuck that. You cannot turn shit into a sandwich. I mean, you can, but it's still a shit snack. So you really need to cut out that optimism in the face of blinding adversity. Maybe if I try to do a karate kick and kick the gun out of this guy's hand, he won't shoot me in the chest and take my money. Wrong, Terry. You didn't take Krav Maga classes. You were too busy playing on Xbox. Now you're in a situation where if your damn limbs work correctly, you might be able to do something. Just sit back and give them your damn wallet. So, we're expecting to see a huge decline of 80% of our males on Tinder who are claiming that they are 6 feet or over 6 feet to basically disappear and blah, blah, blah. Like, listen, if guys are lying about their height, it's because they need to do so in order to have any semblance of getting past one of the first walls women put up on Tinder. I don't know how many times I looked on this shit and I see chicks go, swipe left if you're not 6 feet and over. And I'm like, bye, bitch. It ain't no skin off my nose, honey. All right? I no longer need any validation from a woman. Like, that shit went out the window years ago. And now that I'm doing okay on YouTube, just okay. Don't think I'm a celebrity or anything, because I'm not. But I'm doing well enough to realize I must have some sort of personality to get this fucking far. So I got something going for me. Therefore, when a chick gives me some sort of, you're too short, and I'm like, you look like a mule anyway, Becky, can I get you some hay?
I don't need your pussy, bitch, I'm on my own dick.
No one can have that much power. It is too much.
Then Fox News decided to contact Tinder, and Tinder replied with, Tinder has always been about bringing people together. Sure. To celebrate April Fool's Day, we wanted to raise awareness that only 14.5% of US male population is over 6 feet tall, despite the many Tinder bios claiming otherwise. The men are doing this so women will actually swipe them. And of course, it's a woman who says it's Jenny Campbell. Yeah, maybe you need to raise awareness to women that they can't keep all demanding dudes that are over 6 feet tall, because there's really not that many dudes who are 6 feet tall. You know, why not? Why don't you just go the extra mile and let's keep it real Tinder? Why don't you put in the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the women are after 20% of the fucking men? How about we do that? Why don't we, since we've already admitted that most chicks are looking for dudes at 6 feet tall, and I'll have a chick break it down better than me to explain to some women what the case is
over 6 foot. Less than 14%. And that's all the married men and the men in prison. All of them, girls. So you're sitting around here like, oh, he's got to be 6 foot and he's got to look like this and he's got to make 6 figures or 7 figures. When you start at just height alone, do you hear the percentage that I just gave you on just height? Just height. And if you add in what he looks like looking like Idris and making money like this and that, honey, look, you looking for the come up for real, because I don't know where he's at. I was matchmaking, I would be like, man, I would go find these incredible men, and they would be like, oh, I would never date him. I'm like, I just went and found a freaking pilot, ex-Falcons player. Are you serious? But he don't look, it's like he's gotta be perfect. But you're not perfect. You got issues and unresolved issues, and you got a temper, and you're bossy and you're controlling, and men don't even like to be around you long term. You run everybody away. You think you're so much the ish that you're bougie and vain and stuck up, and men don't like it. And you wonder why you can't keep a man. You wonder why nobody wants to be around you. Sweetheart, listen, get nice. Be sweet. Men are simple creatures. But I'm not gonna settle. But in the meantime, boo, you're not even half the things that you have on your list as requirements for a man. You're not even half those things.
Get her, Jade.
But when you get rid of how many dudes in that list are married, gay, not your preferable race, because, you know, sometimes chicks are like, oh, I only like white guys and Asian guys. Or the chicks are like, I only like black guys or Puerto Rican. Then, you know, the number just declines sharp.
Can we stop this cruel game?
You got this shit. It's just pissing on men. The CMO of Tinder said in an email statement to Fox News, this caused quite a stir among our users, and while we aren't really verifying height, we do encourage people to stand proudly in their truth when filling out their bios. What the fuck does stand proudly in their truth mean? What does that mean? Your truth isn't my truth. What is your truth? Is that your perception of reality? Is that it? Because I know, in the pickup game, perception was reality, but I've learned as I've gotten older, no, perception ain't reality. I don't care how hard you try or how many lines of coke you do, you can't fly. And conversely, we encourage all Tinder users to keep an open mind while swiping. Sometimes the most unexpected match can lead to amazing things. Yeah, tell that to women. All right? Tell that to women. For God's sakes. Where's that thing I had where it showed like the level, like women only swipe right 15% of the time and men swipe right 46% of the time?
Compliments them. But this whole focus on douchebags is a bit of a red herring. The real problem with men, according to the women who actually use Tinder, is that they're not attractive enough. On Tinder, men swipe right almost half the time, women only 15% of the time. And remember, this app almost exclusively focuses on how people look. It's not about douchiness. This study showed that the bottom 80% of men were competing for the bottom 22% of women, whilst the top 20% of men were competing for the top 78% of women. Or put another way, a man of average attractiveness would be liked by less than 1% or 1 in 115 women on Tinder. Now, that study had a small sample size of just 27 women, but similar results were found on OkCupid, where 80% of men were rated below average looking. But it appears the women of Tinder are completely fine with this asymmetry of attraction, since their focus is on the men-provement of douchebag guys. From this little experiment is that if you're a good-looking guy, you can get away with saying just about anything. Being a complete douchebag is absolutely no impediment as long as you have model looks. So ladies, if you don't want douchey behavior, perhaps you shouldn't encourage it. Or better still, maybe you should just drop the act and stop pretending you care so much about douchey attitudes and just admit that you make your decisions almost entirely on the basis of looks. And that these little tools are not so much to deter douchey behavior, but more to do with letting guys know that they don't measure up, which they probably know already given the rejection rate for most. And of course, we should always remember it's the poor, oppressed women's that have to live up to unrealistic standards of beauty.
So, once again, point the finger where it should be pointed. My mother used to do this shit too when I was a kid. My sister would fuck up, and instead of just going, you fucked up, my mother would always present it like someone fucked up, and it was only two of us. There's only two of us. You can't sit here and play this fucking bureaucracy game. Well, someone did. You know who the fuck did it. Don't try and make it sound like the issue is in the air. We're not sure who did it. Ridiculous. And there you have it. Wasn't that a lovely field trip, children? So obviously, it's another joke of the expensive men. Tinder specializes in this. I swear to God, it's actually quite repugnant at this point. In 2017, Tinder also put out this great video called Tinder's Man-Improvement Initiative. It was starring Whitney Cummings. You probably don't know who the fuck she is, and I wouldn't know either if it wasn't for the fact that they put her name directly under her skull keeper looking face. I mean, for a woman of her age, she looks alright, but then again, I assume she's got some sort of money because, what did she do again? She wrote like one sitcom that nobody really remembers about two cute chicks that worked in a diner, which made no sense because in this day and age, any chick that's remotely cute has an Instagram page and is making a ton of money being an influencer. And if you're a cute chick and you're on Instagram and you can't figure out how to make money, well, you ain't got no hustle, girl. As they say in the drag community,
Level your pussy up, step your cookies up, level your pussy up.
all right. I mean, for real. Shit, I'm a man and I'm figuring out how to work this system. Long story short, the Tinder's Man-Improvement Initiative was so stupid, was so poorly done, was so poorly executed, was so vehemently geared towards making fun of men, belittling men, and being overtly fucking sexist. But when women are sexist, it's cool. When men are sexist, it's toxic.
To act the right way.
All of you!
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Typical though, you know, fucking Western civilization going straight to shit. Won't be long for China takes over. I mean, for God's sakes, Tinson is in everything. Everything. The height verification thing dropped and it actually blew up. It's probably the first time Tinder's done anything in years where anybody gave a shit about it. And of course, Tinder makes the typical Twitter move when something blows up. Wow, this tweet blew up. Check us out in the App Store. We don't have a SoundCloud. Thank God you didn't, because if you did, it would only be women screeching about the patriarchy while self-congratulating themselves. And when I say that, I just mean the annoying sort of women. You know the type. You know the type, the Anita Sarkeesians of the world. So if you're a chick and you hear this and you're not like Anita Sarkeesian, it doesn't apply to you. So one guy named Bob decides to make a joke saying, I'm all fine with height verification as long as the ladies have to do weight verification for those pesky old pics. If I could have given a man a full-blown applaud, this guy Bob fucking deserved it. If you've been on Tinder, at least in my area, you've heard of angles. Angles is where every chick that's remotely overweight takes the photo to make herself look thinner than she actually is. It's the most annoying shit ever. Now you gotta be like Ray motherfucking Charles. You gotta see a girl's fingers and her wrists to determine just how overweight she is. If she's got fingers the size of Vienna sausage, you gotta go, bro, unless you're into that sort of thing. Hey, no judgment here, brother. I know some guys keep screaming, more cushion for the pushing. Good for you, that ain't for me. I have a strict rule in dating women. If she's too heavy for my Olin suspension on my race bike, she's too heavy for me. Oh! Then you gotta check the girl's wrist. And if it looks like she had like a really tight band around her wrist for like days on end to the point of where like it dips in and then pops back out. Once again, sausage reference, sausage links. You gotta go, bro. Unless you're into that sort of thing.
I want sausages! Sausages are good!
Then there are the chicks that like, they look cute or thin in their photos and then you actually see them and it's like a totally different woman, you know? And who is responsible for these crimes against men? Nobody. It is horrible, the shit that goes on. But if you're under 6 feet tall, you're a manlet in today's society. You know what? Wolverine was 5'3". If he existed, you wouldn't say shit to that man. Prince was 4'11", without heels on. All right? And I bet you most of the chicks complaining about short guys would blow Prince in a heartbeat when Purple Rain dropped. They didn't give a fuck he shopped in the Oshkosh Bagosh section of stores because he had to wear children's size fucking t-shirts and shit. But oh, since I didn't write Purple Rain, I'm out in the rain. Should've went with cold. So of course, when this guy makes a joke about weight verification, which God, I wish Tinder did. Like Tinder could do height verification with this weight verification. We need that shit. Some chick named Allie X writes, it's never hip to try and belittle women. Oh, come now. Come now, you came to this tweet, you saw that it belittled men, who just were under 6 feet tall, because frankly, women are more attracted to men over 6 feet tall. If you don't know now, you know. But that's fine. Tinder doing the man improvement video that was deleted because it was so poorly received, that was fine. Tinder will never do a woman improvement video. Tinder would never do this sort of shit towards women because I don't fucking know. On April 1st, Tinder then retweets itself by saying, "So yeah, height verification is an April Fool's Day joke, but what's not funny is lying about who you are on Tinder. So stand tall or short, we don't care, and embrace who you are." Talk about one of the shittiest backtracks I've ever seen in my life. I see more sincerity from Phil Burnell, DSP, or Oni-san, for God's sakes. And you know, once again, height only matters with women. Dudes, you'll sit there as long as a chick ain't a midget or something. Nothing. I'm sure that's like, you can't say midget anymore, I'm sure. And if that's the case, I apologize. Dwarf, little person, oompa loompa, whatever you want. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. I've been drinking. But anyway, you don't really care. A chick could be 4'11 to 6'2. And if she's cool and remotely attractive, you're in there. You're like, fine. Women, hell no. Women are like, can't date no short men. I remember, man, my fiance used to sit there and pine away for dudes taller than me all the time. "Oh, I really usually prefer guys that are 6'2", but you're okay." It's like, what the fuck? Maybe I should have said I prefer women with bigger breasts, but you're okay, bitch. What is your problem? What is your problem? Always looking for something you don't have. That's why you're never satisfied. That's why Prince wrote, "When doves cry." Maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. She's never satisfied. I don't even know why people want me to talk about this. Because frankly, I hate Tinder. Tinder used to be the bomb. Like 4 or 5 years ago, dude. Oh my God. Before the normies got in, all that social justice shit, at least in my area, you could like meet cool chicks within 150 miles and totally hook up. You could be dating girls within instants. Just boom, it was happening. You were off with some chick, you were seeing some broad. Now Tinder is like you go through there and you see a handful of women, at least in my area. The princess type of chicks are the ones that are always waiting for like some amazing guy. Like literally these girls are waiting for Bruce Wayne. But Bruce Wayne don't live in this area, so you need to scale back your dreams, girl. And 2, you're not that cute. You're not the bomb. I mean, really, you will really live in the fantasy, girl. Now, I know you're supposed to feel your fantasy, but not this damn hard. Sometimes somebody got to knock some reality into you. Like, listen, honey, you're past your 30s. You're past your prime. You're not funny. You're not interesting. You're not overly talented, and you're in a dead-end job. I don't think you're going to get Bruce Wayne. You got the social justice chicks. They're all fat or they're chubby. They got poorly placed tattoos, and they think like getting a lot of tattoos will make up for the fact that they look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm not joking. This is for real. In my area, these chicks also dye their armpit hair. I don't even know what the fuck this is, but they're doing it. This is against the patriarchy. So having some pink armpit hair and you ain't even cute is supposed to take on the patriarchy. What the fuck does this do to the patriarchy? You should be worried about the oligarchy. The oligarchy rules everything, you fucking fool. My God, you think I have power over your life? If I did, I'd make you shave that ridiculous ass hair and get on a treadmill. Then you got the chicks that like hate liberals so much that they go ultra conservative. So they're all into Jesus and Christianity and, supporting Donald Trump and guns. I'm fine with guns, but I don't know. I mean, I can't really say I support a man who has gone bankrupt more than I have. And he was born rich. That's like, Marion Barry, the mayor who got addicted to crack, didn't get this level of carte blanche. And those girls that are ultra conservative are waiting for Wayne Brady or something like that, the football player. And it's like, he don't even live in this area, so I don't know what you pining for him for. Or Chris Evans. I'm looking for a guy who looks like Chris Evans. I'm like, a guy who looks like Chris Evans isn't here. A guy who looks like Chris Evans is probably in the Avengers movie playing Captain America, dipshit. A guy who looks like Chris Evans is probably in LA or Miami, Florida, picking up super hot girls, Colombians, Cubans, Mexicans, Latins, Puerto Ricans, Italians, white girls, European. These dudes are probably just running around doing so many hot chicks that dick's probably ready to fall off. And you sitting here in upstate New York thinking he's gonna be here for some reason. If I look like Chris Evans, I wouldn't even be on this app looking at your stupidity. Then there's the crazy bitches. The ones that think they're vampires. At no point in interview of a vampire did did Lestat pull out a phone app and look to date somebody. Then there's the weird animal chicks that man, I saw this chick putting a gerbil in her mouth. I don't even know why. And I didn't care to ask questions. I moved right on. Long story short, Tinder's a piece of shit. What they need to do is do some campaigns where they're making fun of wacky ass women because Tinder's loaded with them. Loaded with them. It's loaded with chicks that all think they're awesome and they have nothing to offer. Frankly, if you're a woman on Tinder, your options probably aren't that great. I mean, for real. You know women have the right of choice. Women choose. Men, we gotta scavenge and scour. It's like being a goddamn raccoon. You gotta dig in the trash trying to find a piece of pizza that ain't all fucked up with cigarette butts on it. For chicks, it's kind of like if you're cute enough, you don't even need Tinder. You can walk through the mall and real life is your Tinder. I know, I could go on forever. That's probably why people ask me to do this. This has nothing to do with fuck. This is a horrible video. I just basically ranted about Tinder. Oh, and don't get me started with the college graduate chicks that think they're better than you, but they live with their parents and have no income. I'm a certified lawyer or some crap. And I'm sitting there you passed the bar and everything. And you're living with your parents. Why aren't you practicing law? Why would you take your parents' hard-earned money to get an education you're not going to use? You are a criminal. That's going to do it for me. I'm running for president in 2020. I'm going to tell you right now, one of my first initiatives is dating is a tax write-off for men. No joke. I want that to happen. I want that to be real. Men deserve a tax break for dating. The amount of money you lose looking for women, the amount of money you lose dating a woman or marrying a woman, and then the woman leaving you should be tax deductible. We're also going to tax women that have been divorced more than once. You are obviously messed up and you are going into men's lives, fucking it up and trying to take their money. You're a thief. You are an emotional thief.